All right, what's going on, everybody? The 49ers did not trade for anybody at the trade deadline, and a lot of Niners fans on the internet have mixed emotions. A lot of it is more towards the infuriated side, and we got a lot to talk about. Plus, we got a special guest today. It's going to be a good episode. Let's get into it. All right, guys, welcome back to the First and 49ers podcast. I'm your host, Cole McMahon, joined once again with Rich Bonsall. And today we got a special guest as well. I've been wanting him on my show for a while now. We got Niner Nick, aka 49er Faithful 365. Nick, thanks for joining the show today. How are you doing?
Good, man. Cole, I appreciate it, man. And yeah, it's been a long time coming. I apologize I couldn't get on with you sooner, but I appreciate the invite. And Rich, how's it going, buddy? Good to see you again.
Good, man. How you doing?
Doing well. Yeah. So, little bit about me. If you guys, I'm the creator of Nothing But Niners podcast. I did that since actually when Kyle Shanahan them took over and kind of came from the basement up to where we're at kind of right now. So been a Niner fan my whole life, pretty much came out of the womb with a Niners jersey on basically. You can follow me on Twitter, 49er Faithful 365, Instagram, 49er Faithful 365. It's everything 49er Faithful 365 because that's what I am. I'm faithful 365 days a year, and I'm a 49er fan. So yeah, I'm happy to be here, Cole, and I look forward to digging into some of this conversation that we're going to have because I'm sure we'll get into it fully.
Yeah, so the 49ers practice today, obviously. We'll get into the injury updates, but we could backtrack a little bit. Nick, you went to the Niners-Giants game on Sunday. Talk about how that went, how the 49ers take over. We heard Jackson Dart after the game say it was nothing he's ever seen before. How was the Niners game? How did the atmosphere feel with all those Niner fans there?
Yeah, the Niners are one of the very few teams that travel very well. For the West Coasters, you guys know, you have Levi South in LA. But I've been to 30 of the 32 stadiums. I have 2 left to visit, and that's Vegas and LA, the 2 newest ones. Haven't had a chance to get out there, but anywhere you go on the road, Niners fans travel deep. And it's not just Niners fans. Like it's a way of life for us as faithful. You could go to an Eagles game, right? And you could have all these people dressed up in Eagles. And obviously I'm in the Eagles territory. All these people dressed in Eagles jerseys and things like that. But you walk up to them and ask them anything about the team, and they have absolutely no clue. They can't answer it. They can't tell you. You go up to a Niners fan, and whether it's male, female, 7 years old, 80 years old, they're going to tell you about this team through and through. They may not be 100% correct as into certain things, as in what we as fans or content creators will tell you. But you're going to get the logistics of this team, and it's bang, bang, Niner gang all day long. And so Giant Stadium wasn't any different for me. Huge takeover. We have a big following here on the East Coast for the Niners. I think we have 7 or 8 different chapters throughout the area, whether it's, I think the furthest for me is like 2.5 hours, but there's a pretty good lump of Niner chapters that are here through the Niner Empire. If you go to NinerEmpire.com, you can look and find a chapter that's near you to, whether they do charity events, they do watch parties, they do fundraising, all kinds of things. So look up NinerEmpire.com, check them out. Maybe there's a chapter near you if you want to watch a game with somebody or fellow faithful, you could do that as well. But going to this game was, it felt like a home game. Obviously, I've been to Levi Stadium. I've been all over the place, but going to this game this weekend, I actually had the luxury of being able to take my wife this weekend as well. And Niners fans just do it different, whether it's from the day before or 2 days prior for people traveling in to up until game time till after game time, whether it's win, lose, draw, whatever it is. We travel in these things. So the Niners do this thing called Faithful March. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with it, but we meet up at a certain tailgate area. We eat, we drink, do all that stuff. We play music. We have certain DJs, whether it's a rapper comes in, players come in sometimes, old players like alumni players,
Mm.
do some autograph signings, things like that. And I think just at my tailgate that I was at this weekend, I think we had 550 paying patrons. So that's a pretty big tailgate. What we do then is we meet up with all the other tailgaters and we march in together. Every away stadium we go to, we march in together. So we did the march all the way to the stadium, and Giants fans, I heard probably 3 or 4 different Giants fans saying, "Holy shit! Like I've never seen this happen before." So,
The talented Niner fans walking into MetLife. It's crazy.
right. So you get in the stadium.
We're America's team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, we
Yeah,
are.
we're America's team now.
You
We're
won't give it
America's
to us,
team
but
now.
we're labeling ourselves that 100%.
And I think it's well deserved. Anywhere you go, Niners take over. So then you walk in the stadium, and whether you're on the lower level, whether you're the mid level or upper level, you just see red everywhere. And Niners fans tried to. I was kind of out of it this week because I wore a rivalries jersey just because I had it, and I changed my mask over from a gold mask to a black mask, and I just wanted to kind of wear that. But they choreograph a lot of things through these chapters and say, okay, we're wearing red this day, we're wearing gold this day, we're wearing white, whatever it is, to help with stadium takeovers. So yeah, it was a lot of Niners fans. Like I said earlier before we started the show, I maybe had 2 Giants fans in front of me, maybe 3 or 4 in front of them. The rest was Niner fans. So it was a good takeover. It was a great game. Obviously, was hoping to get out of MetLife with no injuries. Just because we know that place has not been nice to us. Actually, 2 defensive ends now that have been taken out by MetLife's thing. And, kind of like George Kittle said, man, it's the poo field of the NFL. And you kind of got to take care of that. And hopefully they'll start to see that and change over. But, yeah, other than that, man, it was a great weekend. Got to see a lot of faithful, got to see a lot of friends. And the Niners came out on top, which was great.
Yeah. That's awesome. Awesome to hear. Yeah, I know I'm going to the game in Arizona, so I think I'm going to do that. The John Chapman 49ers Rush party thing they have on the Saturday. I'm hoping to go to that thing.
You
So
should. Definitely should.
That. Yeah, because I'm about 5.5 hours from there. So I'm kind of in between San Jose and then the Arizona area. So it's about half and half for me.
I like Arizona too, man. They have that bar right across the street from the stadium. That's a Niners bar, which is pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. And then Arizona, you can't beat the temperatures there either. We had perfect weather here in Jersey for being in the late October, early November game. So it was probably about 60 degrees, which was beautiful weather. So yeah, definitely do that with 49ers Rush and John Chapman. They throw a great party. And Chapman's a great dude.
Yeah, I love his stuff. With that, we could get into some of the injury updates for the day. The 49ers practice today. Shanahan talked about all the stuff going on. We can start with the biggest one. Obviously, Brock Purdy was limited in practice today, and he did say that he's planning on giving Purdy more first-team reps this week than last week. So with that being said, do we think Purdy might be back potentially the week after the Rams game?
Sounds like a lot of gaslighting to me.
Steve Young came out and said that Brock Purdy's going to have to fight his way back and do more to get back on the field. I don't know if I truly believe that. But it's also you paid this guy $265 million contract, and you're at approximately $53 million a year. This is an injury that we as Niners fans should know very well. I mean, it made Patrick Willis retire. It's not an injury that we just keep sitting around saying, "Oh, it's just a toe. It's just a toe." If any of you have played football before or know what this injury entails, it's not a fun injury. It depends on the way you plant, the way you turn, all different kinds of things agitate it or make it worse. Do I agree with the Steve Young quote as in Brock Purdy has to work a little bit harder to get back on the field? And I think he was kind of hitting at Mac Jones is playing well. Why are you going to change it up? Mac Jones is what now 5-2 or no? Yeah, 5-2 and Purdy's 1-1. So,
yep.
He's 5-2. He's carrying his team. The offense is starting to somewhat click. What's the right move? And me, I don't really know. I mean, obviously, I think Brock Purdy still plays better in this offense than Mac Jones does just because of his mobility.
Mhm.
But if his mobility's not there and you're getting the same amount of play that you're getting from Mac Jones, do you rush Purdy back and let him start getting into the rhythm of things, kind of like you did week 2 or week 3, whatever it was, week 3?
Yeah.
That I'm kind of up in the air with. Like, I like Brock Purdy. I love Brock Purdy. I love the way he handles this offense. I think that he's a great football player in this system. I'm not going to go and say that he's a top 10 quarterback if he's outside this system, but in this system, yeah, he's a top 10 quarterback because he's doing what his job is. Do you go and rush him, or is this Kyle Shanahan gaslighting? I don't know what to believe from Kyle Shanahan anymore. And I used to dig deep into these press conferences and just watch facial things and the way that they acted and things they do with their hands when they're talking. I don't do that anymore because Kyle Shanahan is kind of up and down. One minute he's going to tell you what you want to hear. The next minute he's not going to tell you anything at all. And Kyle Shanahan also said that Brandon Ayuk's practice window was going to be open this weekend.
Yeah.
It's not. Obviously, it's not. Now it comes out to, well, I see him playing sometime this year. So
No. Open his practice window sometime
right,
this
open
year.
his practice window. Right, open his practice window. So
Yeah, I'm pretty confident he'll play eventually. I mean, at least open up his practice window. That's
right.
not good news for Brandon Ayuk.
So I don't know what to believe here. Will he get more snaps this week? Probably. Is it going to be hard for the Niners to take Mac Jones out right now? And if Mac Jones was playing bad or had 2 straight games that were bad back to back,
Mhm.
I could see them forcing Purdy along a little bit.
Yeah.
But if the team is winning, and whether it's the right or the wrong decision, I think they're going to ride with Mac as long as they possibly can.
Mhm. I'm kind of on. Yeah, go ahead, Rich. I'll let you speak.
I was just going to follow up on that and say, look, so much of Purdy's game and his mechanics and everything is predicated on his mobility, and he needs his mechanics to be able to throw the ball. He
Mhm.
doesn't have a live arm. So the biggest piece with him is if he can't plant the foot and get the arm off the way he wants, his balls are going to sail and it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. It's a luxury right now that Mac is playing so well that you can just shelf Brock until he's, as close to 100% as possible.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm on the same train with both you guys. I mean, especially if Mac Jones beats the Rams a second time this week, coming up this week, then there's no rush for Brock Purdy to come back. Let him sit for as long as he needs. And if we're in the push for the playoffs, bring him back then. I mean, if Mac is still playing out of his mind, I wouldn't even be. I would still consider having Purdy sit until the playoffs, or let him play at least week 17.
Or just have him be the backup.
Yeah.
If they say he's okay, just let him be the backup because that way, because Mac is a little beat up.
Mhm.
So if Mac does finally succumb to all the punishment, at least Brock's there to come in and play.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Martinez, do you really that's a little scary. That the fact that he's there, that's a little bit scary. But
Mhm.
if Brock comes in and just backs him up and you just say, look, Brock, you're getting paid. Nobody's feelings are hurt here, but you're
Well,
not 100%.
and that's the other thing, Rich, is like if Purdy was cleared and good to go and he's been taking reps with the ones for 2 weeks now, I guess he's been saying, why hasn't he been dressed as a backup? Just in case, and he hasn't been. He's been in street clothes on the sideline, not activated, inactive. You're not placing him on the IR. So if
Why is he there?
right, why is he there? Where are we at? Is he there for leadership? I don't think Mac Jones needs his leadership. But
No.
obviously, I think it does help with it. But just because of Brock being in the system, but Mac is getting better and better each week. Whether it's with throws, whether it's with recognition, whether it's just in general noticing and getting rid of the ball the way that he should. And the offense is starting to click a little bit. You can see week in, week out, we're starting to score a little bit more points. We're not doing as bad in the red zone. We're still not a very good team in the red zone, but so you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place here with this decision, just because one makes a certain amount of money a year to the other guy makes a certain amount of money this year. And what is the right decision? Well, ultimately the right decision is you got to keep winning football games, and that's what Mac Jones is doing right now. And, like I said, as much as I love Purdy, I just think they don't make that change right yet because of the fact that this team is still winning with what they have.
Yeah. Ricky Pearsall is another big name that I was expecting to be back at practice this week. They said they were going to reevaluate him. I think that was Monday. They said that, and we saw Pearsall did not practice today. Once again, it's because of that knee injury. And this has been, I don't know, when was the last time he played? And this knee injury is concerning to me. I don't know if we will see Ricky Pearsall back the rest of the season. And I talked about it a couple of days ago with Rich. I was like, at what point do you call Ricky Pearsall a bust because he hasn't been on the field, he hasn't been healthy as a Niner?
It stinks because the talent's so good.
Yeah.
That's why you hold out. The talent is there. It's just the body's got to be able to make it. And you don't know, because some might say, hey, look, he's soft because he's not out there gutting through it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, here's a guy that, again, his whole game is predicated on his speed. So if he doesn't have his speed, he's a net loss.
Yeah.
And his cuts and separation. I mean, he is a pristine route runner.
He's a zone killer.
Yeah,
he is a zone killer
for sure. And I hate to bring this name up, but I don't want to say bust or anything like that because neither one of these guys were a true bust, but injuries definitely have derailed them. Ricky Pearsall kind of reminds me of Jason Verrett. Like, Jason Verrett's a really, really good corner, and he just couldn't stay healthy, but he had all the talent in the world. Ricky Pearsall, on the other hand, as a receiver, has all the talent in the world, great hands, good route runner, zone killer, but he can't stay healthy. So where do you cut your ties? And the sad thing about it is that Ricky Pearsall was just starting to fire on all cylinders. And then obviously this team, I think that if this team had Brandon Ayuk or Debo as well still going into this year, or a healthy Jennings, Ricky Pearsall probably would have sat out longer than what he did in the beginning, and he kind of played on what he was dealing with and kind of made it worse. And now Kyle Shanahan's trying to back himself up, saying, it's taking a little bit longer than we expected. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know what you're going to get from him. I don't know how – obviously we don't know – none of us know how bad the actual injury is. Do you push it, or do you just kind of hope that you can get healthy and get, Jordan Watkins a couple more snaps? Kendrick Bourne's been playing okay.
Yeah.
Jennings is finally getting a little bit healthy, and you roll with that. And then obviously you still have a healthy Christian McCaffrey. Knock on some damn wood. Hopefully that stays that way because he is the offense on this team. So
I keep joking that Kyle's trying to break him, and he just won't.
Yeah, he has. It's different because, like, I guess when we played the Rams last time is when I really saw Christian McCaffrey being Christian McCaffrey. And that was, he was like running with a purpose. Before that, he was kind of, the first tackle, whether it was a shoestring tackle or not, it was taking him down. After the Rams game, you can see a difference in the way he's running the football. And you can go back and say, people were saying about Christian McCaffrey, oh, he lost a step. Oh, he lost this, or he's just getting older. I still see the same Christian McCaffrey, but I didn't see it until, what was that, week 6?
The Falcons.
I thought it was the Atlanta game. I thought it was, really?
That's what I'm saying.
Bijan Robinson's number one and not me?
Yeah.
I got something to say about that.
And I think it started with the Rams game, and then we played the Falcons right after them. Did we play?
It might have been like a week or two. Let's see.
No, I think it was 2 after, right? Because didn't we play who the heck? We played somebody else in between that.
Yeah, who did we play between Rams and Falcons? Let's see. Because I don't quite remember. Rams. Who the heck was it? Got me thinking now. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring you guys off.
No, you're good. I'm pulling it up right here. See, Jags. Okay, so we play. Oh, the Buccaneers. That's when.
Oh, the Buccaneers. Yeah. We lost.
Yeah. And then it was the Falcons.
And we lost that game. Yeah, the Falcons after the Bucs. Yeah. So but yeah. So either way, I mean, Christian's starting to play. He's starting to run the football more like Christian McCaffrey now compared to what we're used to from the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
So, which is a good thing.
And with Burford in there at left guard, the lines seem to be a little more solid.
Mm-hmm.
The
Especially, yeah.
Burford definitely they definitely played. Burford and Trent played well on the left side.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they played well together in this last game.
Bad news is
I think
for the O line is that Jake Brendel might be back.
uh,
With this comment, I do not want Jake Brendel back. Please keep Hennessy.
Yeah.
I like Hennessy at center. I don't know. I think our line has been better. Even disregarding that Texans game, that was just all around terrible game. But then having Burford in there with Hennessy and Trent Williams, and then McKivitz doing what he can do on the right side with Pooney. I think the trajectory for the run game is just going to get better throughout the rest of the season.
Pooney seems like he's finally getting healthy too. That knee is finally right. I think that knee's been a problem all year, and I think it's finally good.
Yeah, because he was killing me all year.
Yeah,
he was killing me watching tape on him. Like, I was just like, who is this guy?
Mm-hmm.
Like
one-legged guy.
Yeah, he looked totally different, and you could tell that the injury was bothering him. Hennessy kind of reminds me of Weston Richburg. He runs the line good. His communication's good. He hasn't had any real bad screw ups. I don't even think he's actually allowed a sack yet.
And he doesn't get pancaked into the backfield either,
right.
Which is even nicer.
So I think this line operates better with him there. But the decision is going to be, what's Kyle going to do? Because Kyle obviously is a big.
He's going to Brendel.
Fan. Yeah, he's a big Brendel fan. Which is crazy too, because Brendel I always liked Brendel before, like after Richburg left, and then we had God, I'm having a brain fart.
The guy from Atlanta. Why can't I think of his name? Yeah, Mack.
Yeah, Alex Mack. And I was like, and Mack was getting destroyed all the time too. And I'm like, let Brendel play. And then Brendel played well his first year, and then he's just kind of went downhill also lately, and he's been getting destroyed from there to the right side.
He can't anchor. He just gets pushed around. Pushed around. It's horrible.
So bad.
Yeah.
He was limited, so Bryce Huff was limited also.
Bryce Huff. That's why I wanted to bring up. Bryce Huff is limited. So
Huff's playing.
You think he's going to be playing? And I was just going to say, how do you think our defensive line will be now if we get Bryce Huff back? And our D line looked pretty good on Sunday with Keion White, our new addition, and even Clelin Ferrell, who got his first sack again with the Niners.
Yeah, if you watch the mic'd up too, he's like, man, dude's been here 7 days and he's already got a sack. Like, I like Clelin Ferrell. I thought that was a move that we should have kept. Just because.
Yeah, me too.
He doesn't give up on plays.
Mm-hmm.
He never gives up on plays. If that play where he got that sack was Chase Young would have just stood back there watching.
Yeah.
Clelin Ferrell kind of boogies like Nick Bosa does. He has a motor like Bosa. He just never quits. He just never gives up. He comes into position, he plays, and he does his job, and he doesn't give up. And that's what this defensive line needs right now with these young guys, is someone to show them that your motor has to keep going until the whistle's blown. And that sack, I mean, Jackson Dart got plowed.
Yeah.
For him to not give up, and I literally said that to one of the fans, and it wasn't Chase Young, because he would have just stopped. And Clelin Ferrell's been playing well. Keion White looked like he played pretty well. I haven't really dug into the full tape yet, but he did a job. He defended the run, and I don't know how many snaps total he had. I think he only had like 13 or 14 snaps, I think. But the main of our defensive line right now is Kalia Davis is playing really, really well.
He's having a good season.
Yeah, Alfred Collins was playing pretty well. I don't even think CJ West had any snaps. I think he was inactive.
Yeah, he was inactive, healthy scratch again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and Marquis were inactive.
The one good thing with Keion White and Cleveland, with Huff coming back, hopefully Huff will only have to play 30, 35 snaps and won't have to play 50. Right. That's going to be a big piece, because we need Huff, ready to go and racetracking it when especially in the down and distance areas, second and long, third and long. We don't want Huff out there playing 50 plays. That's where he's just a guy then.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a guy. We need him no more than 30 snaps, so he can just go, pin his ears back. And I think that's That's our only hope of a pass rush right now, really. I mean, to be, put it kind of simple, unless we're going to blitz guys from all over the place and get creative that way. But Salah's been kind of all over the place as far as calling the game. He's the zone, the defense has been called so soft, and man, you got to help these corners out with some pass rush, man. You got to help these safeties out.
Yeah.
I think he's worried about getting burned because of so many players going down. Obviously you don't have Fred Warner, who's one of the best coverage linebackers. D Winters slips up in coverage a lot. Tatum Bethune has been playing okay. Obviously he's making tackles and things like that, but I trust Fred Warner more than any of those guys in coverage. So, you start to dial things up, and you're kind of putting your back guys in a predicament to where if they don't cover, and we've seen so many coverage busts over the last 3 weeks that I think that worries him. Like, I can't bring these guys because on some of those plays we're getting coverage busts, and they're big plays on 3rd and 12s, 3rd and 13s, like giving up first down. So I understand kind of the predicament that Salah's in right now is, you want to dial up that pressure and you want to bring that pressure, but you also don't want to put yourself at harm's way to where you can't trust your back end.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of
No,
quarterbacks, I just want to, 49er Media brought up 49ers are bringing in Asante Samuel Jr. on a visit on Monday. So I don't know what you guys think about that. Go ahead. What you were going to say before, though, Rich.
Look, with him coming in, I'm actually excited about the part with Samuel. We can always use another solid corner.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if he's healthy. I mean, look, Renato's played well. He started off a little rough this year. He's been pretty good. And Demo's been excellent, for the most part. He got beat outside a couple times this year, but he's been super solid. The safeties are more the problem than the corners are right now, but I don't mind having depth in any of that kind of stuff now. I mean, Tig has been hit or miss. Siegel was all around the ball, but he wasn't making plays.
Yeah.
That was the toughest part with him. I think next year he makes those plays that he's not making right now. That's the one thing, and I'm bummed about him not being on the field right now, kind of learning on the job.
Yeah. Siegel, you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Marquise,
he's got some potential.
He has a lot of potential. Speaking on Samuel, though, I like the move. I like the bringing him in for a tryout and a workout, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
But where
would he fit?
I feel like we have so many other holes that we could fill with that roster spot compared to corner. Like, Renardo Green's not playing lights out, but he's also he hasn't even really had a full year under his belt.
Yeah.
Demo was not Demo when he was before Demo, right? Like, it took snaps, It took time, it took things to him to become who he is. I'm in agreement with you, Rich. I think more of our trouble is on the back end, and I still, for this day, don't understand why. I think Pinnock should still be out there. Truthfully, like, I feel like Malik Mustafa's playing like on eggshells, and not because of he being afraid he's going to get replaced, but I think because of that injury. I don't feel like he's playing to his full potential just yet. I think he's still kind of getting over that. So Jair Brown is hit or miss, and I love Jair, and I'm really good friends with one of his cousins. She plays on the same softball team as I do. But it's like there's one day he's filling gaps and coming up and making the tackle the way that he should, and then there's other times where he just looks completely lost.
Yeah.
So it's because for him, he needs to play deep and come forward only. He can't move backwards. He's terrible backwards. That's the problem with him. But he moves great side to side and with the flow of the thing, and he hits hard, and he's a good tackler, and he's a good interception guy. But he is not good moving backwards. Coverage. Yeah, I mean, he can cover a tight end because he's fast enough, but he can't play corners, and he can't play a slot guy because he's just too slow. Yeah. And it's a rough watch. I think the other thing with Samuel, though, too, is because we're not getting home with the pass rush, we get an extra corner so we can sub these guys out and give them a blow during the game because they're going to need it because otherwise they're going to get gassed. They're going to get gassed.
And I know we got clearance, but I still that's a spinal fusion. You know, that's not a little injury. You know what I mean? That's not it. But I mean, we wouldn't be the 49ers if we didn't take injured players.
Well, but if they clear him,
what's the big risk at the same time too? You know, you probably wouldn't.
I mean, it obviously. What does it cost? You know,
he's only 26 years old. He could show signs of what he was before the injury and all that.
Yeah, I mean, I was an Asante Samuel Jr. fan coming out of college. Like, he was one of the guys that I liked and would have loved to have here at that time. But now you put him up against like Demo and, you know, even Renardo, like I still like their play better than what he showed in the NFL. So
yeah, but if he can give those guys 10 snaps each, a break during the course of a game, you know what? Maybe they need it. Because I mean, look, Kyle's left our defense out there to hang on the field quite a bit this year.
Yeah,
he's been a lot of 3-and-outs, and Kyle just it's one of my like things with him. He is like so unaware sometimes that, you know, you just left your defense hanging out there for 11 minutes and you just did a 3-and-out.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't do anything to try to, you know, give your guys a blow and, you know, hey, let's run a couple things. Let's run a little bit clock to get these guys fresh. And
that's
like, come on, man.
That's one of the points I wanted to bring up too, just about our defense, about playing so soft in coverage. Like for the Texans game, for example, that Texans offense was out there for so long. So I'd almost rather the 49ers defense give up like quick, like big blown coverage plays, you know, that, you know, so our defense just isn't out there for 15 minutes, you know, in a quarter, because at the end of the day, the 49ers defense is so banged up that the Niners are going to have to score. They're going to have to be like the Cowboys. They're going to have to score 31 points per game, and the defense is probably going to give up 30 points per game. You know, that's what this offense is going to have to do the rest of the season. And for the first time we saw them score 30 points against the Giants, and that's the only way I think they could potentially make the playoffs this year.
The Texans slanted us to death.
Mm-hmm.
They slanted us to death. I don't know why they didn't just start chipping guys off the line just to break that up.
Yeah.
Because it was just slant. You know, here goes CJ. Yeah. 1, 2, 3 slant. 1, 2, 3 slant. That was their
big issue was their big issue was getting rid of the football.
Yeah.
All before that. And then they just started killing us with slants, and, you know, a second to a second and a half and the ball was out, and they were moving the ball fine. And I'm surprised that other teams didn't. You know,
the Buccaneers are the first ones to do that, and so it was funny when the Texans did the exact same game plan as them with backup wide receivers too, which was insane.
When the Buccaneers' third and fourth receiver ate us up.
Yeah.
Oh, that was just that was a rough watch.
Okay, 49ers, this is the big talk of the town. Obviously, the trade deadline was yesterday, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. The Niners didn't make a trade. We got Keion White a couple of days ago, but the Niners social media, everyone is outraged that the 49ers didn't make the trade, and they're calling the 49ers, saying that, you know, the 49ers season is over, like they're not trying to make a push for the Super Bowl. My take on it is I don't think the 49ers at the beginning of the season expected themselves to be Super Bowl contenders, considering the team that we had. And then just as soon as you saw Fred Warner, or once Nick Bosa was down, you're like, okay, we still potentially have a shot. But then once Fred Warner was down, I think that kind of sold it for the 49ers, I guess, and especially going down to the trade deadline, that you could do it so much you want, but the Niners are probably not going to make it to the Super Bowl. And I think they're protecting their draft picks. I saw a thing that the Niners were only willing to give up, I think, a 4th round pick, nothing more than that, no 3rd rounder, no 2nd rounder. So what are your guys' takes on the trade deadline? We'll start with you, Rich.
The problem is this. It's what do you do? Because you've got this team that have got expensive older players, and then you got 2 rounds of drafted rookies playing on basically on defense. Mm-hmm. The people that you want the 49ers to make the move for was Trent and CMC. They're the elder statesmen on the team. You don't want to waste a season because Trent, this might be Trent's last go.
Yeah.
This may be CMC's last go of being here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that 30 hits and now all of a sudden he's here. And that's the problem. The rest of it is this team really isn't that good right now. Yeah, we got a really good record. We've won some games that we wouldn't have won last year. That's the big piece. We won some games we wouldn't have won last year, and it's tough that the youth and you basically want to build it, but the building it, by the time the rest of this team gets good, CMC and Trent are going to be no good anymore,
Yeah.
and that's going to be the problem. Is the finding that happy medium between the vets and the kids, and trying to balance them and figure out how you're going to make this team good without losing those guys. Because if you're going to not make the thing, do you make the deal? Do you say, hey, you know what? We're going to trade CMC and we're going to trade Trent right now. Let's just make them go. And then for next year, now we've got picks and then in the offseason, we could even trade Mac. We might be able to get a second round pick from Mac in the offseason.
Yeah.
If we've decided that Brock is still our quarterback because he has to be because the contract, I mean, Mac's contract's low enough. But if Matt came to the organization and said, "Look, man, I played well. Let me go somewhere."
Yeah.
He's worth a second round pick. So now you've got some picks. You've kind of gotten rid of the older players that are not going to be good by the time the youth gets there, and now you've got some picks too. So I don't know. There's a lot going on. It's not a simple A and B kind of talk.
Yeah.
I see both ways.
What are your thoughts, Nick?
I think the 49ers won this trade deadline. And what I mean by that is, would I have loved for them to make a move? Yeah, absolutely. Is it the right move? Probably not. And the reason I say that it's probably not is because, yeah, all these people, just thinking about Jermaine Johnson or whatever, they wouldn't budge off of what they were offering.
Mm-hmm.
He's not worth a second round pick. He missed the last 13 to 16 games with a torn Achilles. He's had one productive season in the NFL. And it's like Niners fans in general, 80% of them or 50% of them, I understand they want to see the teams do well and they want to see that big name splash or those bigger names, the Trey Hendricksons, the Max Crosbys, but if the Niners don't do that kind of move, everybody's down on them. Look, the Niners are 6-3 this year, not because of what we are. And I agree with Rich. We've won some games this year that we wouldn't have won last year. But the Niners are doing the right thing right now. They're building their youth and allowing them to play. Yes, injuries have killed us. Because I think if this team is healthy with our strength of schedule that we had, I probably think this team's probably undefeated right now. And that's if we have a Brandon Ayuk on the field, a healthy Christian McCaffrey, a good Trent Williams, a healthy Brock Purdy, a healthy Ricky Pearsall. Offensively, those are big hits. Defensively, you have a healthy Fred Warner. You have a healthy Nick Bosa. The way D. Winters and Fred Warner were playing together. You have the start of the season, your healthy safety starting. Yeah, this team with the strength of schedule could be an undefeated team. But right now, the strength of the schedule is why we're 6-3. Mm-hmm. It's because of the schedule that we're playing. If we were playing each number one team from each division this year, we wouldn't be 6-3. So why go and gamble the future of what you can put on this team? Kyle and John, I think, finally figured out that you can't build this team through free agency. You got to build this team through the draft. This isn't 2017 when we pick up 13, 14, 15 free agents and keep, half of them for a year and then keep the other half for the next years. If you look at the players we let go, the Deebo Samuel, draft pick. Brandon Ayuk we paid, obviously. Nick Bosa, draft pick. Fred Warner, draft pick. George Kittle, draft pick. But if you look back to now, the Niners made trades this year. It's just not what the Niner fans wanted them to do. Yeah. They traded for Keion White. They traded for Brian Robinson Jr. They've made these trades to help that position. Jordan James hasn't been playing. Broken finger, hurt knee, whatever it was. So you go out and get Brian Robinson Jr. And Brian Robinson Jr. is finally starting to kick in and actually start being able to play. He's got to get touches, right? Mm-hmm. But I think the Niners won this trade deadline because they didn't overspend and they didn't make these moves that aren't necessary to make for the future. Yeah, you could have went out and spent a first-round pick on Trey Hendrickson. Absolutely. What's it going to do for you? He's a free agent next year. If he doesn't want to be here, you're getting a comp pick back in a number 3. You gave up a 1, and now you can't build. You know we need offensive line help next year. We have Trent Williams probably, like Rich is saying, going out on the backside of his career. You need a tackle. You give up first-round picks. What are you getting back? So, yeah, it sucks because we all want to see the Niners do well and we want to see them make these moves. But in the end, it's the smart and the right way to do it. They didn't go out and overspend for these guys. They're going to trust in their youth that they have. If you were to sat here with me in the beginning of 2025 season and said that I don't know what the heck that was. Sorry.
You're good.
Something just like started going crazy on my phone. If you would have sat here with me in the beginning of 2025 season and you had a conversation with me and could be dead honest and truthful that you had Super Bowl aspirations for this team, me as an individual would have told you you're a complete liar.
Yeah.
Because not one of us should have had that aspiration or vision for this team to be a Super Bowl contender going into this year. Now, am I happy that the team's 6-3 and I'm not grumpy as shit every weekend when the team is losing like they did last year? Yeah, absolutely. Are there games that I thought, oh my God, the Niners could have won this game and we'd have this type of record? Yeah. But I'm also a realist. And I'm also a Niner fan that is a realist that I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to sit back and enjoy the ride right now because I know, yeah, we could end up 12-5. But when we get into the playoffs and you can do whatever you want, if we make it to a Super Bowl, cool. I'll be happy as shit, but I don't have that aspiration.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't look at this team right now as the 2025 San Francisco 49ers are a Super Bowl contender. If they make it there, great. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, God, I was wrong. I'm sorry. I just don't see it. But in the end, the team is doing it the right way. They're building through the draft. I think they continue to build through the draft. They wanted to get younger. They're sticking to their guns, and they're not panicking. Okay, we're 6-3. You see it with the Mac Jones and Brock Purdy situation. They're not panicking. Okay, cool. He's playing well. I don't have to hurry up and put Brock on the field because he's making this much money. Let him get healthy. Going forward, Brock's health, all these other guys that are injured or playing, their developmental stages are very crucial and important for this team going forward. So for 2025 through 2030, they are, 2028, 2029, depending on what their draft pick was. But their development is crucial to this team going forward. And I think they won the draft or won the trade deadline because they didn't overpay or over pursue somebody or make that decision because they're panicking. Mm-hmm. So I'm happy with where they're at. I'm glad they didn't overspend. I'm glad that they're sticking to their guns and saying, look, we're a 6-3 team. And, Kyle Shanahan was asked that question today. Is this team overachieving what you thought they were going to do? Well, I don't really, and that's what he says. Well, I don't really want to say overachieving, but yeah, they're playing to the point where I didn't think they were going to be playing. With as many injuries as we had, if Kyle Shanahan is not the coach of the year next year for keeping this team afloat in a 6-3 record, 3-0 in the division, if they win this Rams game, then you got to talk about it even more if they win this upcoming week. But I think this team is right where they need to be. Mm-hmm. And it sucks with the injuries and things like that. And I have faith that this team's going to build to what they are. And I'm loving that these players are getting burn time and play time to learn this system because it's only going to make them better in 2026. I remember interviewing Ian Williams one time, and I think I've said this to you guys before. Hey, Ian, how long did it really take you to become who you were as a defensive lineman? And he says, Nick, it took me 3 years to even feel comfortable with what I was doing. And that's where we're at right now. Like, yeah, we see these guys. You see growth for Mykel Williams. You've seen growth for CJ West. You've seen growth for Alfred Collins. You could put tape on from week 1 with Alfred Collins to week 7 and see that much growth. He's not playing with such as high pad level. He's not, he's forcing. He's playing with more moves. He's playing with more dignity. He's playing more strength, power. you could see the difference in all these guys, and that's what's going to help this team going forward.
Mm-hmm. Nick, got anything else to say, or Rich?
I was going to say sorry.
No, actually, no. No. He was very thorough on that. I agree with just about everything he said.
Nailed it on the head.
No, I agree with just about everything he said. I mean, the only you know what? No, just go with it. It was complete. You know, I mean,
sorry if I took anything from you guys. I
apologize. That was perfect.
No, man.
This is
why
nailed it. You're gonna be great on here, dude.
Nailed it. It's because it's one of those things where, like, you were talking about the beginning of the season and stuff like that. I had us 11-6 and 2-4 in division.
Mm-hmm.
So we've already exceeded what I thought we were going to do in division.
Yeah.
And I figured we were one and done in the playoffs. That was kind of my preseason kind of prediction.
Which is crazy because I did have us 12-5 going into the season, like before any players even got hurt or anything like that. And I had the Philadelphia Eagles 11-6. And I had the Niners finishing top of the NFC with the 1 seed. But now I don't think that the Niners are even close to being the best team. I think the two best NFC teams are in our division, and that's the Rams and the Seahawks right now.
100%. And I was talking about this with Cole before you came on, Nick. The Niners schedule, it started out as 32nd in the league, and right now it's 17th as far as strength of schedule, which I thought was a very interesting stat, as far as when you see, like, because like as fans, we're looking at that going W, W, W. Now halfway through the season, you're going, that may not, that Colts game is not going to look so easy.
Not one of us second guessed that Colts game.
Yeah,
one of us. We all had that as a W.
That Bears game's not going to look so easy now, even the Panthers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even the last 3 games of the season, I said, I was talking to Rich too as well. The last episode is like the Panthers are even going to be tough. Like the 3 games you have to play, you have to win. It's got to be the Panthers. You got to beat the Browns. You got to beat the Titans, because the last 3 games of the season, you got the Colts, you got the Bears, and you got the Seahawks, which beating a division opponent obviously is really hard to do it twice in a season. The Niners really can't give themselves any opportunity to lose those games, because if you lose those 2 games or those 3 games at the end of the season, it's gonna be tough sledding.
And Schwartz is the defensive coordinator in Cleveland, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
and they always give us a hard time, especially.
Look, he is Kyle Shanahan kryptonite, man.
Mm-hmm.
He is Kyle Shanahan kryptonite. Yeah.
Finishing out this season, right, like here, like if you're looking at this schedule right here, like if we can somehow beat the Rams this week, that will tremendously help us. Yeah. Just because I think we'd probably finish 4-1, 4-2, possibly. Only because I'm more scared about that Arizona game, and hear me out here. I'm more scared about that Arizona game because of us not showing up than I am against the Rams. And with Jacoby Brissett, they're moving the ball better than they were with Kyler Murray. Marvin Harrison Jr. is finally picking up. Their run game started to pick up because people were fearing Jacoby Brissett's arm playing compared to what Kyler Murray was. And Kyler probably should have been at Arizona 2 years ago.
But the contract made it impossible.
Right. So I don't think Jacoby Brissett is 100% better than Kyler Murray, but he's operating that offense right now at a higher turn rate than Kyler Murray was. So if I had to switch between these 2 games right here, if the Niners could somehow pull off a win at the Rams, well, at home, I could see them possibly dropping one to the Cardinals. And I don't think we go undefeated in a division. I think that last week of Seattle is going to be a real tough go at it. But I could see us finishing 4-1, 4-2 in the division, which is, I would take that any day of the week, especially with an injured team like we have right now. Yeah. And then, I could see us losing to the Colts and possibly the Bears. It's good. Out of those last 3 weeks, I think we go either 2-1 or 1-2.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying it's so important. We have to beat the Panthers. You have to beat the Titans. You have to beat the Browns. I mean, That's just where it's at. You have no room for error if you don't do that.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
you
so,
got to
I
get
mean,
to 10 or you got to get to 10 and up.
10,
You
10,
got to get to 10 and up.
and 11 would be great. If you can win this Rams game this
Yeah.
week, I think that really tremendously helps us. And I think that those Rams games can go back and forth, like with Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay. Like those games go back and forth all the
Mhm.
time. So I have more trust in Kyle Shanahan getting these guys to play against LA. And like I said, instead of Arizona, I'm more worried about that Arizona game than I am at the LA game. Whether we win or lose, I'm still going to be worried about that Arizona game just because of the team not really showing up. If they come off a win, they're high going into Arizona. It's in Arizona this week, right?
Yeah.
This year,
Yeah.
Cal.
Yeah.
So it'll be in Arizona because that's right, because you're going to be going to that
Mhm.
probably. You're coming off a high going into Arizona. You could flop. You lose, and now you're 2 games
Yeah.
back. Like now you're losing 2 divisional games. So these next 2 weeks actually next 3 weeks are super crucial. You have to come out of this at least 2-1
Yep.
out of those 3
Yeah.
games.
Absolutely.
I agree with that.
And I would rather win the LA Arizona game and lose the Carolina game and have the in division win.
Yeah, we
than
need the division wins.
drop one to
Mhm.
Carolina.
Yeah. NFC playoff picture. Did you guys expect this? Eagles number 1, Lions 5-3, Buccaneers 6-2, Seahawks 6-2, Packers 5-2-1, and the Rams 6-2 as well. It's there's not a powerhouse. I feel like in the NFC this year, and people have talked about it all over. Like it's open. Everyone is. There's not a single team where you'd be like, oh, they're number 1. They're going to the NFC conference game. The Eagles, they lost to the Giants one week.
Well, and I think that's why a lot of the fans are frustrated because they see the NFC looking wide open, and
Mhm.
they're like, "Why not us?
Yeah.
Get us a player. Why not us? We can play with all these guys. I mean, a lot of people have argued that the Rams are the best team in the NFL right now, and we pounded them. We ran probably the best game you know, the Shanahan ever called.
Mhm.
They ran time of possession was 41 minutes. It
Yeah.
was amazing. That was a masterpiece by Kyle.
Yeah.
And to run that against them, I think that's where fans found that piece. Is it was like, well, we've played all these guys. We've played everybody on this list except for the Lions and the Packers.
Yeah.
So it was like, hey, maybe we can do something here. I think that was the frustration. You're gonna. I mean, with these records, you're gonna find out who the paper champs are and who the real ones are.
Yeah.
I'm still not a believer of the Eagles though.
Really.
Yeah, I mean, I watch them all the time and I watch how they play. Like they've had some wins that they probably squeezed out that they probably shouldn't have won. The Rams game, one of them. Um, the Tampa game, um, and then they lost to the Giants. But I think they're force feeding. Jalen Hurts has been playing the way that he played before Saquon last year, and that's basically one read. If it's not there, he's taken off. And Saquon's not running the ball like he was last year. They lost a lot of offensive linemen. They lost a shit ton of defensive linemen. Obviously, they just went out and got Jair Alexander. They made who was the other guy they picked up?
I think was that the Dolphins?
Yeah, Alexander, that was a good move, man. That was a good move. Roseman's pretty aggressive.
He
Yeah,
is. He
you
is.
got the linebacker Jalen Phillips.
That's what it was. Jalen Phillips. Yeah, that was Jalen Phillips. So they made move for Jalen Phillips and Jair Alexander, which are good moves for them, but their defensive line is still lackluster compared to what it was last year.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jalen Carter's not playing the way that he was last year. You bring Brandon Graham back out of retirement.
Yeah.
Like he wears number 55, and I think he is 55. But
Hey, nothing wrong with being 55.
no.
Just
I'm
saying.
just saying. But football years, it is.
Oh yeah.
Football years, it is. But still, it's just like I just don't see their team as a force as much as it was last year. Last year, everything was just clicking for them. Saquon was running the ball really, really well. Without Saquon last year, they don't move the ball like they did
No.
Yeah.
last year.
Saquon's having that hangover that running backs get when they get basically spammed the whole year before.
Right.
Yeah.
So now it's just like Saquon. He's always going to be Saquon, right? But I just don't see them as a powerhouse. I think the Buccaneers are a better team than them
They're scary.
when healthy compared to what the Eagles are right now. And I still wouldn't count the Lions or the Packers out. They're both two really good teams too. But
To me, Lions more than the Packers.
Yeah. I still think the Rams are the best team in the NFC right now. And then I would go Rams, Seattle, Tampa, Philly, Lions, Packers.
Yep.
And then
if I had to put them there right now. And then
I would probably go Rams, Bucks, Seahawks. Because I'm just going to go with the quarterback because I think Baker Mayfield is playing. He and Stafford are playing just like unbelievably well.
The only thing I can't take away from Seattle though is that defense is really, really good.
It really is. It really is.
I have the Seahawks up there top 3 in the NFC, and just watching them after the Commanders game, and now they added Rashid Shaheed for another deep threat.
Shaheed, yeah.
I mean, Darnold
which was crazy.
Placing it that game. He was bing, 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 everything down the field. That's the scary part. I mean, I'm not scared of Sam Darnold in the playoffs, so that's the only thing. So I'm just talking about like for the regular season, Sam Darnold, he's scary. He's kind of like Dak Prescott is what it kind of seems like.
For sure.
Way bigger arm, but yeah.
Yeah. Just like in terms of playing great in the regular season and not doing anything in the playoffs.
That's crazy. The Niners are 6th seed right now in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is one of the last things I wanted to talk about. These are Christian McCaffrey's stats or the 49ers running stats throughout the entire season so far. Obviously, the 49ers run defense has been getting going since we can argue the Falcons game. I feel like the stats have kind of showed that yards per carry. We started off 3.3. So the first 5 games, look, it's 3.0, 2.2 yards per carry. The past 3 was 4 games. The 49ers have actually run the ball more than 4 yards per carry. I think the biggest key for the 49ers offense to be successful the rest of the season is continuing these numbers to, go up. This is the 3rd game that the 49ers have run for 159 yards rushing, obviously. How important do you guys think the run game is for the Niners the rest of the season?
You want to go, Nick, or you want me?
Go ahead, Rich. You go first.
Look, it's I'd like to wait 2 weeks on this before I'm totally sold. Because look, if they leave Burford there and the line plays well and gets a little continuity together, that's one of the things we haven't really had this whole year. Barch was in for a couple of games. Then we had what's his name? Our draft pick. Why can't I think of his name? But he was in. And then now Burford's in. It's I want to get this line a little bit of continuity with all the guys playing together. Because we just haven't been solid all year. They've just been getting pushed around. Christian is I can't believe how well he's actually and how hard he's running with the amount of touches he's getting. Mm-hmm. He's been great. You still have to show the presence of the run. So the yards per carry have really not been, I'd like them to be a yard higher than they are, but it's helped our passing game.
Yeah.
That's the biggest piece on that is that because we have the threat of the run still there, it's helped our passing game. And Mac has been good enough in his spots that when we've had to just go full pass, we've been able to do it, and it's been great. I mean, it's been surprising how well Mac has played as far as that, but he can make a bunch of throws instinctively and quickly that Brock just can't make. That's been the big piece with him. I mean, I know, Cole, you and I talked about it before with the mechanics. Brock's mechanics have to be perfect for him to be able to throw the ball, whereas Mac can just be leaning one way and whip it. And his ability to be able to do some of that stuff has really opened up Kyle's offense for this kind of stuff, because now you got to see the offense that Kyle ran in Atlanta with oh gosh, why am I drawing blanks? With Ryan. Yeah, and even when he was coaching Schaub with the Texans, the offense with Mac looks more like that than the ground and pound that he's had to do with Jimmy and Trey and everything now. The
Mhm.
offense seemed to be more opened up. And plus, Kyle was trusting Mac, which I felt like he didn't with in the past with the other quarterbacks. Kyle never ran 2 minute with these guys and opened up the offense and stuff like that with these other guys. Where this year with Mac, he's done it. And it's opened up things for Christian.
Yeah.
It's really and his receiving game has just been off the charts a result. I wish he would give B Rob some more carries.
Mhm.
That'd be the only
Well,
other thing is
Yeah.
that's where
that's the
I've been
big
at.
piece.
I've been at that all year. I'm like, I don't understand why we've been down receivers, put Christian in the slot, and line Brian Robinson and Kyle Juszczyk up in the backfield. Like,
Yeah.
put Christian in the slot. Like, there's not a guy that can cover him in the slot. And even if he's out there, he's going to take away and open up more lanes for Brian Robinson. And Brian Robinson's coming around now. I don't understand why you don't utilize a guy that can catch the ball as good as Christian McCaffrey. A lot of times he's motioning out to the slot anyway. So just line them both up in the backfield, unless you want to keep Juice on the field, and just have him line up as a slot receiver.
Juice doesn't need to be on the field.
Right.
He really doesn't in these situations. He really doesn't.
Mhm.
I actually the way Tonjes is playing, I'd rather have Tonjes out there
Yeah.
and run 22.
Juice hasn't been blocking well this year at all either.
And Tonjes is an H back. He really is. He's not a tight end. He's an H back. And his flexibility, I think they could run 22 personnel with Kittle, Tonjes, and then B. Robin and Christian and do really well. At least I think so.
Mm-hmm.
And it would help the run game too.
Like I said, I don't understand it. I think Bijan Brian has to get the ball some more. And I understand a lot of that is Christian too, because if you watch, like when you're at the game, like you'll see that stuff you don't see on the TV. Like I've seen it a lot this week where Brian was coming in and Christian waved him off.
He's like, nope.
And you see more of that when you're at the game compared to on TV.
Mm-hmm.
You'll watch Brian starts running out and Christian's like,
I'm good.
So I think Kyle is trying to not give him the ball that much, but Christian is just Christian. Like he wants
and
the ball.
He's Kyle's binky. He is Kyle's binky.
Oh yeah.
He's just because you can't help it. He's so good. He's so good. It makes your life easier.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree, Cole, that the run game is super important going forward. But these other things here, you look at it and think about why it's that way is Kittle's on the field.
Right. And that's what we brought up for the Falcons game.
That's a huge, huge advantage. Compared to, I mean, you're averaging almost 2 more yards a carry.
Yeah.
With Kittle on the field.
Yeah.
And that's huge. And it stinks for Kittle have to stay in like that, but you can see, I mean, even like Tonjes, like you said, Tonjes, is playing well, but he's not a Kittle in the blocking game. And
not at all.
Our receivers weren't blocking as well either downfield compared to what they're used to. Jawan Jennings was hurt. Like you could tell.
They don't have Brandon Ayuk blocking all the way down the field.
Right.
That's something lacking.
So you're
and Kendrick Bourne's not doing that either. That's not Kendrick Bourne's game either.
Yeah.
No, so I mean it's important going forward. I mean it's going to be important this week too. Like you're going to have to stick to the run game, no matter what you do against the Rams, and that's weird as hell. Am I moving for you guys?
No, you're stationary,
dude. On my screen, I'm going to show you. I'm going to take a video of this so I can show you, and I'll send it to you guys. That's so weird. Okay. Yeah, so I mean that's going to be really huge. You got to run the ball for 35 times at least this weekend.
Game plan's got to be exactly the same as last time. Ball control, keep the ball out of Stafford's hands, and you got to score some touchdowns. It can't be Eddie De Niro, 5 field goals.
No, you're not winning the game. Especially the Niners are even more injured now than the last time they played the Rams. They don't have Fred Warner now. So you're gonna have to have another big defensive stop, hopefully. Oh, there goes. Oh, there you are. Nick, you disappeared for a second. But yeah, that's gonna be something interesting because just it is always tough playing your division rival 2 times in a year, especially Sean McVay. Yeah, Sean McVay. The Rams games are just always up in the air for sure, and then just going back and forth and everything with it. You just hope Mac Jones can have another masterclass because that was all Mac Jones. That was like his glory. Out there on one leg, dry heaving and everything like that. We might have to ask for one of those games again from him. But if we don't have to, let's rely on Christian McCaffrey. Let's give Brian Robinson the ball more than five times this game. He looked good. I mean, what was it? The touchdown drive before the last, he got the ball 3 times in a row and he scored a touchdown there. He was averaging 10 yards per carry in 5 attempts.
And he's a volume guy. He's a volume guy. He needs carries to get warmed up and go. He isn't like Christian where you can just start feeding him right away and he's tearing it off.
I hope that's just enough tape for Shanahan to realize, like, okay, we got like Robinson can be effective in the run game for the Niners. And that's just what I want to see because I want McCaffrey to be healthy the rest of the season.
For sure.
You guys got any other thoughts or predicaments for the Niners going into the Rams game? I don't want to get too much into the Rams game since it's only Wednesday, but you guys any last couple thoughts?
No, I don't think I have anything. I mean, we pretty much covered a lot of it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think we dug pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know what the heck my computer's doing.
Well,
dude,
I just
want jumping all over the place. You guys are red and look like you're in a photo booth, like developing film.
Oh, here I got the what you can't even see that. But yeah, you're tripping out on the screen you sent.
And I'm still like that. It's so weird.
No, you look fine in ours. You went green for 1 second, but
yeah, that's because I shut the camera off to try to read.
No, yeah, you look fine. Your quality's all good on here, so.
All right, good. I think that's pretty much it for now.
Yeah.
Definitely let me know when you jump back on. I'd love to come back on and talk with you guys.
Yeah, I'd love to try to make this at least, hopefully, maybe a weekly thing or bi-weekly kind of thing with you guys on here. I think that'd be great for the show.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, then with that being said, guys, make sure to follow Rich Bonsall on X. Follow 49er Faithful 365 Nick on X, Instagram. What else are you on? Facebook, everything.
Yeah, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. That's all the same.
Guys, go follow him. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe.
Make sure you like my TikTok too. TikTok's
and TikTok. All right, we'll follow you. I'll follow you on TikTok there too, also because I do have TikTok. And yeah, guys, follow First and 49ers. You know the drill. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and X. We're on the road to 500 subscribers on YouTube, road to 10,000, hopefully by the end of the season on Instagram, guys. Thank you once again for the support and everybody that joined the chat today. 49er Media was in here earlier. Appreciate him. And yeah, thank you, Nick and Rich, for joining me today. Hopefully we talk sometime soon before the game this weekend.
Yeah, let me know.
Cool.
I appreciate you guys having me on. And Rich, it's always a pleasure.
Yeah.
No, pleasure, man.
All right. Go Niners. Stay faithful, baby. Talk to you guys.
Stay faithful.
Above all else, stay faithful.
Touchdown!